Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and thank you for joining me today. In this video, you might have noticed by looking at the title that this is something different for my channel. This is something that will be that I would like to keep on doing maybe every day or maybe every other day or something like that. It's going to be um, a series of videos. Probably we'll move on to live videos as well of me covering design news and the innovative news in the tech industry and in the coding industry in general, because these are the things that keep us on our toes, okay, in terms of what's happening in the industry and everything. So, and I like to read news articles, in terms of what's happening in the design community and so on and so forth. So this is episode 1, okay. So thank you for joining me today, and thank you if you're subscribed to my channel or you've liked any of my video. I just want to say thank you so much. But yeah, in this video, as you can see guys by the title, unless you're living under a rock, the news has just broke regarding Adobe and Figma, okay. And when it was announced last year in September, when the news first was announced that Adobe was going to merge with Figma. They were getting acquired by Adobe for $20 billion. I was shocked, okay, because I've been a lifelong Adobe fan. I've used all their apps. I remember when I used to use InDesign to do magazines and layout, layout design and all that stuff. I've used InDesign for business cards, and for years now I've been using Adobe. And I was kind of excited. I wanted to see what Adobe would do with Figma, but the price tag when I heard it last year, it was, I was like, what, $20 billion. But then I kind of understood, because Figma are the new kids on the block, let's be honest, okay. And I was excited to see them merge together or be acquired by Adobe, just to see what Adobe would do with the tool, because I think I've just started using Figma this year actually, and I'm loving it. I am absolutely loving it, and I'm using less and less of Adobe, because my work now is focused on front end development. So I use less of Illustrator, less of Photoshop nowadays. So I've kind of moved on to Figma full time, to be honest. I've made a commitment. I've signed up for Figma. I pay monthly, I think $20 monthly, if I remember correctly. So it was kind of, I was kind of shocked by the news that broke today regarding of Figma, that the fact that Adobe are no longer merging with Figma, because there's an issue. There's a regulatory issue going on, because it's been over a year now, and obviously everyone has been anxious and waiting to see what happens. And just over a year now, it's finally happened, and Adobe will not be acquiring Figma any longer. And the issue, if I can read it to you, on Adobe's website themselves. And yeah, it says Adobe and Figma mutually agreed to terminate merger agreement. That's the headline. And it says, although both parties continue to believe in the merit and pre-competitive benefits of the combination, Adobe and Figma mutually agreed to terminate the transaction based on a joint assessment that there is no clear path to receive necessary regulatory approvals from the European Commission and the UK Competition and Market Authority. That's the reason why they broke up, in a nutshell. Why they couldn't get acquired by Adobe, because there's a regulatory issue for these things to go ahead, because this is big fees. We're talking about big giant companies who are, they're kind of competitors, okay. There has to be agencies, there have to be regulatory agencies that have to sign off on these things, okay. And I'm talking about agencies in the UK, in Europe, the large markets, where Adobe probably control majority of the market share. The US market, the Europe market, and the UK market especially. Adobe still dominate the UK market, and Figma are taking over. Figma are a serious competitor. So I kind of understand why Adobe would want to acquire Figma. I understood when I heard it last year in September. I understood, because you have to, if you have the money, okay, as Adobe is a huge company. Adobe are a huge company. You might as well just do it and clean up the competition, right? They are the nearest competition in terms of I think right now I would still, because of Adobe's market share, because of Adobe's longevity, because of Adobe's capabilities in terms of they have a range of apps, you know, I would still put Adobe and then Figma and then Sketch. Let me know what you think about that. Who do you think it's, leading the market now? Is it Adobe? Is it Figma for you? I think Sketch is way down below. But I think it's, in terms of Adobe, I think it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before before Figma, you know, eventually will tip and dominate over Adobe. But Adobe, they're no slouch. They've been in the game for a long time, long time. But yeah, they couldn't go on with the merger simply because of a regulatory issue. Okay, the CEO of Adobe, his name is Shantanu Narayan, said that Adobe and Figma strongly disagree with the recent regulatory findings, and we believe it is our respective best interest to move forward independently. Okay, and imagine, and one thing I also found out was that because the merger broke down, Adobe would have to pay Figma $1 billion. 1 billion, we're talking $1 billion for basically signing a pre-agreement, and because now they have to, terminate the contract, they have to pay Figma $1 billion. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And I was thinking about, in terms of, is this bad business for Adobe? Are they will lose market share because of this, guaranteed, and they're losing $1 billion as well. It's a bad move for them eventually. Now it's clear that it's a bad move, that they've some ads are probably gonna roll. A lot of people are probably gonna lose their jobs, because this is crazy. They have to pay Figma $1 billion, not million, $1 billion, just for saying, hey, sorry, we wasted your time. It's crazy what these giant corporations are doing, and they're both, huge corporations, but obviously Adobe is like still the leading 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 brand in this space. But yeah, it's just interesting how, these things happen, I guess. But yeah, that's my first design news for you guys, just to digest. And let me know if you like this format. This is something that I would like to keep going. Like I said earlier, eventually I would like to turn this into a live stream. And let me know what you think about the Adobe and Figma merger not going ahead. Let me know what you think about that. Is it good for the design industry? Do we need the competition? Do we need Figma and Adobe to keep challenging each other? I would like that, to be honest. I like the competition. I like the fact that both companies can give us your best. As a creative, I want both companies, even Sketch as well. I want all the design tools and all these companies to give us your best, and let's see who produces the best tools for us as a creative to get our job done effectively. So yeah, it's interesting what happens now, because this is going to shake the industry. This news will make a lot of things happen. We'll see where Adobe is a year from now, especially after this news. We'll see where they are, and we'll see where Figma is to a year from now. We'll see what happens. Maybe someone else will try to acquire Figma off of this news. We don't know, but yeah, let's watch and see, and let's see what happens. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. And also, if you want more videos like this, just like this video and share this with your friends, and also subscribe to my channel for other videos like this. Thank you so much and take care of yourself. Bye bye.